Today we're going to talk about the trigonometry. Okay, so I'm going to give you the basic, then from there we take a few exercises. Now, the trigonometry starts here. When you're talking about the trigonometry, we're talking about three trigonometric functions. We're talking about cos, we're talking about sine, we are talking about tan. So in this case now, we split this into quadrants, okay? So when you're looking closer now to the board, we have the quadrant here. This is quadrant 1, this is quadrant 2, this is quadrant 3, and this is quadrant 4. So we want to say in quadrant 1, all the trigonometric ratios are positive. In that way, we say we have got sine theta, we have got cos of theta, we have got tan of theta. And all those trigonometric equations you see there, they've got its own reciprocals. What do I mean? That means when I'm talking about sine, I'm talking about the reciprocal of sine, which is cosec. I'm talking about the reciprocal of cos, which is sec. I'm talking about the reciprocal of tan, which is cot. So each and every trigonometric functions fall under a certain quadrant. As I said, this is quadrant 1, this is quadrant 2, 3, as well as 4. Now, here they are all positive. That means they are all positive. I'm talking about all the trigonometric ratios. And here it's only sine x and cosec x here which are positive. Then the rest of them are said to be negative. The rest of them are negative. Let's just jump to the quadrant 3. In quadrant 3, we only find a tan x and the reciprocal of tan, which is cot x, only positive. Then the rest are said to be negative. Here we know that we are only left with sec. With sec and its reciprocal, which is in other words, it's gonna be cos x and sec x as well. So when you're looking closer, if you look here, it's gonna be 90 degrees. We add 90, we get 180 degrees. We add 90, we get 270 degrees. We add 90, we end up getting 360 degrees, which is the circle, because the circle is equivalent to 30 degrees. Now, let us look closer to more equations that we can form using the sine and the cos ratios. Now, looking at sine itself, sine x is equal to 1 over its reciprocal, which is cosec x. Here we go. We've got another way, which is cos x. We know that cos x, in terms of being having its own reciprocal, we know that cosec x is equal to 1 over sec x, as well as tan x is equal to 1 over cot x. Now, it's depending on the equation. If we want to solve for cosec, therefore we're going to make cosec be the subject of the formula. Then we start from there and simplify it. So when you're looking at the biggest equation of the trigonometric ratio, we are looking at this equation. They formed one equation, therefore they tricked us, generating those main equations from one equation of the trigonometry. Basically, that equation is sine squared x plus cos squared x is equal to 1. By looking at cos x squared and the cos squared x, we know that when we want to make sine squared x the subject of the formula, it's going to be 1 minus cos squared x. By simply removing cos x to that side, in actual fact, we are transposing. It's changing the sign, it's become like this one. Therefore, it's the same thing applies when we are going to cos squared x. Definitely sure it's going to be 1 minus sine squared x. Now, in terms of being cos squared x, what do we do? Now, if we're looking closer, this is what is happening here. When we've got sine squared x plus cos squared x is equal to 1, we end up dividing each term by the first term. Okay, in other words here, we can say we divide by sine x, sine squared x, we divide by sine squared x, we divide by sine squared x. We end up this one, they cancel 1 plus, you know that cos over sine is what? Now, when looking at tan here, tan x is equal to sine x over cos x. And we know that cot x, because cot x is an inverse of tan x, therefore it's going to change, it's going to be cos x divided by sin x. So when you're looking at cos x divided by sin x, you know because of these 2 squared, it makes the 2 which is what? Which is cot squared x is equal to, you were told that 1 divided by sin squared x is equal to cos x. That means we end up having cos x squared x. Therefore, we end up concluded by saying that cos x squared x is equal to 1 plus cot x. Only